getting kicked out of the candy trough, being used as a doormat, and taking any bit of candy he can get, even if it's from a stranger's mouth.
Oh. He was that down bad, huh? Oh.
Told her pull up and let's vibe. Sipping on Patron, we live. Feeling like a star, nigga high. Bitch, I'm high, yeah, yeah. Got a bad bitch, stick like Cardi B. Twerk on OnlyFans, still belong to me. Got my money up, living on my dream. Smacking all these hoes, spread my energy. Say she got a man, don't feel her knees. Bad little bitch cold, made a nigga freeze. I just want the top, told her on the knees, yeah.
What's good? Dark Knight Gang, I'm Neptune. Today I'm about to react to a video titled Cartoon Episodes That Traumatized Children. This should be a fire video. Shout out to the gang. Everybody have a good day. Have a great day. This is from a YouTube channel named Tuv. So yeah, we're going to hop into this video. We're going to see what's up. I hope you have a great weekend. Listen, I'm faded. I am on Neptune right now, so I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. Have a great weekend. You know I am, so I hope you are too. Let's hop into this video, see some cartoon episodes that traumatized children. We all love cartoons growing up. Of course. I loved cartoons. But yeah, let's hop into this video. Shout out to the gang. Let's go.
When growing up, one thing we as kids loved doing was watching TV. Getting up early to watch Saturday morning cartoons, or late at night to watch whatever was playing. These cartoons gave us dreams, expectations, and most of all, permanent memories. Though, some shows push the boundaries, causing us to remember the more disturbing side of said cartoon. Today, we will be talking about cartoon episodes that traumatized children. Blue Cat Blues, Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry need no introduction. I'm 100% sure everyone watching this video knows exactly who these two are. Blue Cat Blues is about Tom's love for a female cat which doesn't love him back. The video begins with a quote by Jerry's narrator while watching Tom sit on the train tracks patiently waiting for the train to come by. The quote is, "Poor Tom. In a few minutes it'll all be over. And for the first time since he met her, he'll be happy. Poor, miserable, lovesick creature. I suppose people will say I should have helped him. I know. But it's better this way." Talk about a kid's show getting dark. Throughout the episode, we see just how much
he about to commit, you know what I'm saying, over this beautiful cat right here.
Tom is in love with this cat and how he is
the beautiful crazy bitches will drive you insane.
Thrown by another cat by the name of Mr. Butch. The cat with more money, more gifts, a better car. Tom resorts to drinking milk, which in this episode is a substitute for alcohol. Tom is seen sliding down a gutter until Jerry saves him. They get splashed by some water and come to find out it's Mr. Butch and the love of Tom's life riding away in his car with a just married sign. After this, the same thing happens to Jerry as his girlfriend is riding away with another mouse. Jerry brings himself down to the train tracks, sits next to Tom, and both patiently wait for the train to pass by. The episode ends with the haunting horn of a train.
Damn.
This episode was banned by Cartoon Network and Boomerang due to its references to alcohol and... Also, I just want to clear up a common misconception, and that is that this is actually the finale to the series. It's not.
Oh, I thought it was.
Man's best friend, Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy...
I never watched Ren and Stimpy. I feel like it was a little bit before my time, but that was always just weird.
He ran on Nickelodeon from 1991 to 1996 and focused on a sociopathic chihuahua and a clueless cat. This show got away with so much shit, it's actually scary. Season 2, episode 4 opens up with a man by the name of George Liquor adopting Ren and Stimpy at a pet store. Once he takes them home, he puts them through a bunch of rigorous tasks to see if they can keep up with how he wants his ideal pets to act. In one scene, he forces Stimpy to get on his couch so that he can learn how to be quote-unquote disciplined and, well, just watch.
That's a good boy.
I have no idea how Nickelodeon let this show air in the first place. Eventually, George says that his pets need...
Wait, what was so bad about that? I don't get it.
That's a good boy.
I have no idea how Nickelodeon let this show air in the first place. Eventually, George says that his pets need to learn how to attack. So he puts on this padded bite suit, and Stimpy is reluctant due to him being his owner. Ren, on the other hand, takes full advantage of this and begins beating the ever-living shit out of George with a paddle. So much so that George's head does a full 360 and right eyeball falls out of its socket. Ren continues on his rampage and just doesn't stop beating this man to a pulp. It even shows George with X's for eyes, and we all know what that means. Though he actually didn't die. It's still quite disturbing to add that little detail. But the disturbing parts of this episode don't end there. George climbs out of his suit, breathes like a maniac, and congratulates Ren on being a true champion. The episode ends with all three characters dancing. Yeah. Now, this episode actually never ended up airing on Nickelodeon. It was banned once they saw what it actually contained. But this episode was moved to Ren and Stimpy Adult Party Cartoon. And that show was basically a revival of the original, except with very sexual... It was just a very sexual show. I mean, if the creator went from making a kids show and turning that kids show into a sexual... I mean, I guess we could see where his mind was. Anyway, we could tell that this creator was trying to go with this dark humor, but it just ended up being super creepy for kids, and it was not the right move.
That went straight over my head, bro. Were them being red like that? Was that supposed to mean like he turned, like he got a boner from doing it?
Teeth for Two, CatDog. CatDog ran for 7 years on Nickelodeon from 1998 to 2005. You may recognize Dog's voice since it's Tom Kenny, SpongeBob's voice actor. Teeth for Two is actually a fun concept for an episode, where whenever one of them does something, the other one feels it. Except it revolves around teeth. Look, I hate the dentist already. Yes, I do go, but just the fact that there's drills in your mouth,
I haven't been to the dentist.
Nah, bro, I just hate everything about the dentist so much. Anyway, the dentist tells them that the food they eat affects the other's teeth, resulting in Cat's teeth to become brown and withered. Cat tries to convince Dog to start eating healthy, but then turns into a battle seeing who can do more damage to the other's teeth. Cat chews on ice, and Dog chews on foil. Later that night, Dog is asleep, and Cat attempts to brush his teeth. He is unable to do so because of all the food in his mouth. So what's the next best option? That's right, traveling inside of their own body to come out as an inside-out cat out of Dog's mouth. Dog screams of horror and swallows Cat back down to where he's supposed to be. Skipping to the end, they get their teeth fixed, but end up getting food allergies from all the junk they ate throughout the entire episode.
It ain't that bad.
I'd see an inside-out cat trying to brush a dog's teeth. Knuckles and His Hilarious Problem, The Misadventures of Flapjack. The Misadventures of Flapjack was another show that got away with so much disturbing shit. Personally, as a kid, I loved it just because it was so gross and I thought that was so funny back in the day. I remember pausing it at those funny still frames of like really detailed zoomed in pictures of the characters' faces. Anyway, season 2, episode 4 is Knuckles and His Hilarious Problem. This episode is about addiction. More specifically, Knuckles' addiction to candy, which has the effects of alcohol, from feeling warm and happy, angry at the world, to depression. The next morning, after Knuckles ingests a bunch of candy, Flapjack realizes that Knuckles has become addicted to the candy, so much so that he hallucinates, sees Flapjack as a lollipop, and tries eating him. Next, Knuckles begins manipulating Flapjack and tells him that he's just fine and he can trust him, though this only leads to 2 candy rampages where he steals from homes, babies, and a gumball machine. Then we go to this depressing scene showing just how this candy addiction has left Knuckles, getting kicked out of the candy trough, being used as a doormat, and taking any bit of candy he can get, even if it's from a stranger's mouth.
Oh. He was that down bad, huh? Oh,
Bubby decides to send Knuckles off to isolation on a piece of the boardwalk into the sea. Here, Knuckles begins hallucinating and imagines a giant Flapjack putting his arms inside of his mouth and vomiting candy into it.
Yeah, the
very dark episode if you think about it, especially seeing just how bad the effects of candy have left Knuckles. I really like the episode though. It really makes you aware of just how bad alcohol or any addiction can be.
That one was a great episode about addiction. I don't understand why that would cause controversy either. It was dark, but in a good way, bro. That wouldn't have traumatized me as a child. Well, I was exposed to a lot as a child, so maybe that's why. So maybe there are some kids out there that will be like, oh my God, what's happening?
Remembrance of Courage Past. Courage the Cowardly Dog. This list would not be complete without mentioning Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Right?
I could go on and on about all the creepy monsters that gave kids nightmares throughout the entirety of the series, but I want to mention the one that stuck with me the most, and that's King Ramses' curse. In this episode, Eustace does not want to return a historical slab because he hears on the news that it's worth $1 million.
I remember this episode too, bro.
A person from the museum it belongs to comes over to take it back and offers Eustace a tote bag. Really, my guy? I'm pretty sure you could legally get it back for free. Then the door gets slammed on him. When it becomes nighttime, they hear a creak at the door and check outside. Then we get King Ramses, who just keeps repeating, "Return the slab or suffer my curse."
Return the slab. What? Return the slab or suffer my curse.
It's just such a creepy design, and also it's a 3D model in a 2D animated show. There's so many instances of just plain creepy stuff in this cartoon, but that's what gave it its charm. I feel like Courage the Cowardly Dog definitely let young kids know whether they like the horror genre. So shout out to Courage the Cowardly Dog for that.
Oh. Maybe that's why I was the only one in my house that really liked Courage the Cowardly Dog. I thought it was hilarious and dark at the same time. Maybe this is what introduced me to like dark comedy and made me really like dark comedy as a kid. That makes sense.
Kids know whether they like the horror genre. So shout out to Courage the Cowardly Dog for that. Jurassic Bark, Futurama. This is a little bonus I'm throwing in. The reason I'm throwing this in as a bonus is because 1, Futurama wasn't really made for kids. It was a show for young adults. And 2, I don't think this episode traumatized anyone. It was just incredibly sad. And if you're a fan of Futurama, you already know what I'm talking about.
Right,
this episode, Jurassic Bark, was the hardest one to rewatch for me. This episode is about Fry's old dog from 1997 named Seymour. In case you guys don't know, Futurama takes place in the year 3000, with Fry being the only person from the year 2000, since he accidentally fell into a cryogenic chamber on New Year's Day. Anyway, Fry finds Seymour as a fossil in a museum, where he then takes home to the professor. The professor explains that he can actually bring back Seymour with new technology, and so Fry begins getting ready for Seymour's return. This includes a doggy bed, a collar, and some chew toys. When the professor is ready to bring back Seymour, Bender throws his body into a pit of lava because he's jealous that Fry will have a new best friend. We get a flashback of Seymour doing everything in his power to find Fry. Seymour eventually finds Fry, but no one in the lab notices that Fry is in there. Even his parents, who go to pick up Seymour. Talk about frustration. Anyway, Bender jumps into the lava pit and retrieves Seymour's body. Seymour didn't burn due to the material covering his body. The professor finds out that Seymour actually lived his full lifespan of 15 years, 12 years after Fry's disappearance. So Fry decides not to bring him back simply because he doubts Seymour even remembers him, and he probably moved on with another family. But wait, here's the kicker. We, the audience, get a
Oh, I got copyrighted. So he probably said we get a full look as to what happens to Seymour. Oh, so look, Seymour was a stray puppy who lived outside of a pizza place the whole time and then just died.
Episode was actually nominated for an Emmy in 2003, which, that's just how good the episode was. Sadly, it did not win the Emmy. The Simpsons beat it out, which is also made by Matt Groening. So, Matt Groening, good on you. Yeah, this episode tore my heart out when I watched it.
All right, bro, great video. I basically gave my reaction throughout, but let's talk about that last one, that Futurama one, man. That would be a touching episode. So at the end, the main character, Fry, is like, nah, I'm not going to bring my dog back because he lived a full life anyway. Like, nah, I'm not going to bring him back. And then it shows you the type of quote-unquote full life the dog lived. Damn. And the type of life he lived, he was a stray dog on the street suffering till the day he died. God damn. I'll be sitting there watching that like, oh. That's some dark shit right there. Shout out to the gang. Everybody have a great day. I'm going to see you guys next time. Yeah. Have a great weekend. Peace.